Hi, we're Mandy and Lee. We're the Frugal Travellers travelling the world on a budget, and here we are in country number 116, Cyprus.
As we explained in previous videos, Cyprus is a divided country. There is the Republic of Cyprus, the Greek-speaking Cyprus, that covers the south side of the island, and then a dividing line, a UN buffer zone, and the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus on the north side, created when Turkey invaded in 1974. We've been staying on the north side, and yesterday we did a big tour and showed you around the north part of Nicosia, and today we're going to cross to the south side and we'll show you the Greek part. Most people cross the pedestrian crossing at Ledra Street, right in the centre of the old town. We're just to the west of the old town at the other pedestrian crossing near the Ledra Palace. We'll need our passports to cross over, and we're going to go through the checkpoint now where you can't film. So we've just come through the Turkish border control and we're now in the UN buffer zone, and it's a bit of a grey area this, because I don't think you're supposed to video much, so we're going to keep the camera low. But there is a cafe at the Home for Cooperation, which is a initiative set up by the UN to build bridges between the two communities, the Greek and the Turkish. People can come here and they've got different events on, artistic events and things like that, and a cafe as well. So we're going to go in there and have a coffee in the UN buffer zone.
So excited. These are like the new trendy drinks here in Cyprus, apparently. They're called a Freddo. It's coffee with ice, blended with ice. This is a Freddo espresso, and this beautiful concoction is a Freddo cappuccino. €2.50 and €3. Can't wait to try them. This is so cool. Sustainable straw wrapped in paper made of cardboard. I love it.
So here I am sipping a coffee in the UN buffer zone in no man's land. I'm not actually anywhere at the moment. I'm between North Cyprus and South Cyprus. And in the border zone here, normally you just walk straight through. The United Nations have a presence, and they have set up this Home for Cooperation, which is a brilliant cafe, and it's also an initiative to bring together people from both sides of the border and build bridges. They have art and music and different kind of events to bring the communities together, which is a brilliant initiative. The fact that the cafe is here is brilliant, so we can come here, sit down, drink and contribute towards this. We can't film too much because we're in a UN buffer zone, so we can sit in the cafe here, but we can't point it towards the border or any of the border zones. And it's just really nice to be sitting here in the buffer zone having a coffee.
And so what do you think of your Freddo cappuccino?
Cool and delicious, just what you need on one of these hot Cypriot days. So I've just passed through the border and we are now on the south side of the gate. You can see there's Greek flags behind me. So now it's time to explore the south side of Nicosia. It's quite sad to see the broken down buildings in the buffer zone and close to the border. I can imagine a lot of people lost their homes when the invasion happened. So this is the bastion that we were up at yesterday when we were filming from the Turkish side, looking down onto the Greek side. Now we're below. We've now come round to the Paphos gate, and there's a big signpost here explaining it all. It shows that it's the area under Turkish occupation since 1974, is how the Greeks show it. The Paphos gate led to the road that goes out to Paphos, that's why it's called that. And behind me here is the border zone as well. We will follow the border zone along and come out at Ledra Street, the main shopping arcade.
So behind me are the Venetian walls. Now these were built in 1567 by the Venetians. They're a beautiful snowflake shape all the way around the old city. Now unfortunately, while they look incredibly impressive, they didn't really work. They were built to keep the Ottomans out, but in 1570, 3 years later after they were built, the Ottomans invaded Nicosia and killed 50,000 inhabitants.
And there's a footpath down here which leads to a tunnel underneath the walls. Couldn't resist coming down through the tunnel, and you can see here, I don't know if it's original or not, but the gates here that are kind of withered and broken at the bottom look very authentic. Such thick walls. And then when you come through the other side, straight away you see UN 65. All the UN posts seem to be numbered. Sometimes the checkpoints are manned, sometimes they're not. And above here you can see the barrels, which are a feature along the border zone a lot. You see a lot of barbed wire, a lot of barrels, and a lot of broken down buildings, unfortunately. Straight away we've got an Orthodox church here, and it's interesting, there's a flag of Lebanon, not sure what the yellow one is. This is the Cyprus flag, and then the EU behind it. One thing we've noticed on the Greek side, it seems to be that the buildings are a lot better preserved close to the border than on the Turkish side, which seems to be quite dilapidated in many parts.
So we were really confused about the actual name of the city, because everywhere you see it written differently. You see it called Lefkosa, Lefkosia, and also called Nicosia. But we've been informed that Lefkosia is the original Cypriot name. The name Nicosia was given to the city by the Venetians. So you can use any one of the three. They're all referring to the same place.
This is the Peace Monument in front of the border at Ledger Street, and you can see the huge queue of people, a lot busier than the crossing that we just did, wasn't it, Mandy?
Yeah, definitely. It's amazing the difference. Also, I think it's Orthodox Easter as well, so it could be a lot of people crossing over to visit family on the other side.
Yeah, many Cypriots maybe, and a lot of tourists too.
So here we have one of these very useful maps of the city, showing the must-see sites. So we're currently here. We're going to walk down Lydros Street to the Leventis Museum. Hopefully it's open today, because apparently it's brilliant.
Ledger Street is the main thoroughfare where you will find your cafes, restaurants, bars, places where all the tourists love to go, do their shopping and enjoy life.
Some more brands on the south side of the city, H&M. And over here we have the Body Shop. So we continue walking down Lydros Street.
At the end of Ledger Street is Eleftheria Square. Now this is a very modern one that was designed by Zaha Hadid. It's really modern, and it splits up the Venetian walls, which is obviously very old. It was controversial when it was first designed because a lot of people said it didn't fit in, but I think it looks really nice. If we pan around here, you can see the square down below underneath the walls, and you've got fountains and parks and places for the kids to play. I think it looks really pretty. Mandy?
I think it's beautiful. I love Zaha Hadid's work anyway, but yeah, it's so nice. And on the other side of the park is the bus station where we arrived the other day, as you can see in our first Nicosia video.
Now that might be a lovely modern park, but everybody's come to this one very close by because it's nice and shaded and you can sit under a tree and it's a lot more comfortable. We've just spent the last hour and a half in the Leventis Municipal Museum.
It's absolutely incredible, like so much history dating from like ancient times, pots dating back to like 2500 BC, all the way up until like the end of the British rule in 1960.
Yeah, it's free to go in and it's definitely worthwhile. My favourite was the maps, I think, by the Venetians in 1570 of the Ottoman invasion. Incredible.
And I can't believe it. I think I'm turning it to my mother because I really like the ceramics and the pottery. Some of the pots, they were just incredible, spectacular.
Find some time to visit this museum when you're in Nicosia.
We tend to laugh about seeing pots in museums, saying the sake of it, but I've got to say, this collection here on the ground floor of the museum is absolutely brilliant. So worth a visit. From the very first ones here, 2500 BC, to just so many more. Fantastic.
We're at Sham Food and we've got a fast food meal here. We've got some ayran, we have got a falafel sandwich, and we've got a chicken shawarma sandwich that looks quite substantial with chips, and that costs $7.50 for the shawarma meal and $3.50 for the falafel. Chicken shawarma is really quite good actually, very meaty and very substantial. Mr. Kitten enjoyed the chicken shawarma as well, didn't you?
So we're here at the Church of the Archangel Michael. It's built in 1695 in Lusinian and Byzantine style. Apparently it's absolutely beautiful. Inside there's this incredible iconostasis, the gold back wall filled with icons, some dating back to the 15th century. Unfortunately, we can't go inside because it closes at 1 p.m. So this is what it looks like from the outside. Absolutely beautiful.
Walking along these back streets on the eastern side of the old town, there's just some really beautiful buildings here. So magnificent, and there's nobody around. It's really quiet. All the tourists are a few streets away on Ledger Street.
So it turns out it's not all fancy and shiny on the south side of Nicosia. Got a sign here, I'm not too sure what it says. Anyone who can read Greek, you could let us know, that'd be great, because it's a beautiful old building, just fortunately left to fall to rack and ruin. So this is the Eleftheria Mosque, originally the Augustinian Church of St Mary, dating back to the 14th century. Now the minaret was added after its conversion in 1571. So the sign here, it says that there are some free services for Muslims, tourists, visitors and all types of non-Muslim. You can get free book service, free drinkable cold water, free drinkable hot water and free toilets. So lovely. So opposite the Eleftheria Mosque is the Hammam Eleftheria. Amazing domes back there. I'm pretty sure the guidebook says you can go in for treatments and a hammam, which would be pretty amazing after a long day sightseeing.
This is all very modern. We think this is the new town hall, but if you look through the glass and around by us, there are all these ancient ruins, something that's been dug up when they were building the building probably, and you know Cyprus, it probably dates back thousands of years. Whatever it is, they've done a pretty good job of maintaining its original structure. It's such a shame the information board about this place is right there, very close, but the walkway is all the way around there, about half a kilometre, so I'm never going to know.
So opposite the town hall is the Cathedral of the Apostle Barnabas. And we think this impressive building to the left of it is the new Archbishop's Palace.
So everywhere you look there's interesting buildings and museums. We've got the Archbishop's Palace here, another beautiful church or something. We've got the Folk Arts Museum here. We've got the Museum for National Struggle over there. It's just never ending. I think you'd need weeks if you were a museum buff around here, wouldn't you, Mandy?
Incredible. So many fascinating buildings. The history, as I said before, it's ancient.
It is the Archbishop's Palace and it is a very beautiful building. For such a small capital city, Nicosia is incredible. There are so many historic buildings and museums to see. It's 4 p.m. on day 2 now and I'm pretty exhausted to be honest, but it is just so good here. Like you could spend a week and still not see everything. Oh look, another incredible historic building. This is the Kale Mosque. It's all boarded up now. I don't know if it used to be a church and then became a mosque, as many things here, but fascinating.
So it's so interesting. It's saying here this is the Cypriot municipality occupied by Turkish troops. So I think this is one of the provinces that north of the Green Line.
And we've finally made it out to the Famagusta Gate, and this marks the easternmost point of Old Town Nicosia. It was the gate in the Venetian walls that led out to the road to Famagusta in the east of the island.
So I'm here in the lovely Cypriot Park. Forgive me if I've said that incorrectly. It's so beautiful. There's trees, grass, families having a picnic. Wonderful.
Come round to Crystallaniosis Park or something like that. I'm saying it wrong. There's a football pitch behind me. We can hear the call to prayer. We can't point the camera that way because there's a border guard with a big gun looking over the barbed wire with the Greek flag on this side and the Turkish flag on the other side. This is the end of Republic of Cyprus side of this part of the old town. And we have to finish our walking tour here at the Christolinio Church It's Byzantine. We think it's the oldest church in Nicosia, and it was built in 1450. Absolutely incredible. I don't know if it's original, but the brickwork and the ceiling is beautiful. I don't think it's open, but it's just a marvel to come and see. Yet another beautiful place in Nicosia.
So that concludes the end of our epic day walking around the south side of Nicosia.
It's been absolutely exhausting, but we've thoroughly enjoyed it because it is so amazing here. Keep watching, because tomorrow we're going to be going to Famagusta.
So remember to like, subscribe and share with your friends.
We'll see you in the next one.
Bye for now.
Bye.